Okay, everybody, so we are going to be painting a pumpkin scene today for the fall. Right now, I'm just painting the background gray with my big brush, making sure to paint around the pumpkins and the leaves. Now, I added a little bit of black to my gray paint to add like a shadow effect underneath my pumpkins. And now I am going in with my medium brush and I'm painting my two kind of brownish beige pumpkins, the big one and the small one. And I'm also going to be painting my orange pumpkin as well. Again, I'm using the medium brush. Right now, the focus is mostly coverage. You can still see brush strokes and see the pencil lines, but that is fine. So for this third pumpkin, what you want to do is paint the first or the top portion of the pumpkin orange, the bottom of the pumpkin orange, and then the center of the pumpkin is going to be painted apricot. And a little bit later, after the paint dries a little bit, we will blend this orange and the apricot together. As we wait for that orange pumpkin to dry a little bit, you kind of want to wait for it to dry. Sometimes when you paint with acrylics and paint in layers, sometimes that paint can pick up if it's not dry when you're applying that second layer. So that's why we let that first layer dry before we start painting the second layer. As you can see here, I'm repainting the brown pumpkins. Now with that second layer, you really can't see the brush strokes anymore. So you definitely want to paint that second layer, and again, it's best to do it when it's dry. Now going back to our orange pumpkin, what I'm doing here is just repainting the orange areas, and then I'm going to apply more apricot in the middle, and then we'll work on blending. So first we're going to blend the orange into the apricot, and then with more apricot on my medium brush, we're going to blend the apricot into the orange. And you're just trying to create a highlighted effect for the center of the pumpkin. I'm just going to do a little bit of blending. I missed a spot here, so I'm just trying to blend that gray section out a little bit. And now we're going over to the final pumpkin, which will be painting blue. I try to go on and put about 2 layers of paint on that blue pumpkin. You might have to wait and do 1 layer at a time like we did the other 2 pumpkins, but we're painting the stems and the leaves of our pumpkins, and then we're going to start painting the cheetah print, which you start off with brown paint and small brush and just painting spots on your medium pumpkin, or your first pumpkin. And now after you do that, you're going to outline everything in black with your small brush. That means you're outlining the stems, the leaves, the sections of each pumpkin, and then we're going to use the black to finish off our cheetah print. Best to load your brush with a nice amount of black paint so that the paint runs off smoothly off your brush onto the canvas, and so that you don't have those areas where the paint kind of dulls out because you didn't have enough paint on the brush. Now the final steps for the cheetah print is to paint kind of like a black parentheses on the outside of the brown spots. Now for the final steps, you definitely want to wait for this paint to dry. I didn't. I wouldn't recommend that because that white paint can blend in with the colors that that you're applying the white paint to. So that's why it's good to make sure that paint is dry But what we're doing, we're just adding white highlights to our pumpkin. See here, I'm being very careful because that paint is still wet and I don't want that highlight to come out gray. Again, it is better to wait for your paint to dry before you do this final step. And you're going to just continue to add highlights. I added them to the pumpkins, the stems, and we're going to add some to the leaves as well. Now there is a little section on my blue pumpkin that I just wasn't happy with that highlight, so I'm just fixing this error by going in with blue paint. This has had time to dry a little bit so I can cover that white portion. And after that, you can add whatever message you want to put up here. I put Happy Fall. On the sample you're about to see at the end of the video, it says Happy Fall Festivities. So I hope this video is helpful for you all. Happy Fall.